Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I think who is reading today? Kiran Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
When you ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances to all the people who joined this Zoom call. Thank you, Sundaranand Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to read today's Bhagavatam Sloka translations. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Let me start with quick prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktirbhavati Naishtikim नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Canto 10, the Samam Bonam, the chapter 58. Krishna marries five princesses. We continue the chapter started yesterday from 20th sloka to 38. This chapter describes our Lord Krishna's marrying five brides, beginning with Kalindi, and went to see Pandavas by visiting Indraprastha. So, starting 20th sloka. Sri Kalindi said, I am the daughter of the sun god. I desire to get as my husband the most excellent and magnificent munificent Lord Vishnu, and to that end I am performing severe penances. Sloka 21. I will accept no husband other than him, the abode of goddess of fortune. May that Mukunda, the Supreme Personality, the shelter of the helpless, be pleased with me. Sloka 22. I am known as Kalindi, and I live in a mansion my father built for me within the water of the Yamuna. There I will stay until I met Lord Achyuta. Sloka 23. Sukdev Goswami continued. Arjuna repeated all this to Lord Vasudeva, who was already aware of it. The Lord then took Kalindi onto his chariot and went back to see King Yudhishthira. Sloka 24, describing a previous incident, Sukdev Goswami said, upon the request of the Pandavas, Lord Krishna had Vishwakarma built them a beautiful, wonderful, and amazing city. Sloka 25, the Supreme Lord stayed in that city for some time to please his devotees. On one occasion, Sri Krishna wanted to give Khandava forest as a gift to Agni, and so the Lord becomes Arjuna's charioteer. Sloka 26. Being pleased, O king, Lord Agni presented Arjuna with a bow, a set of white horses, a chariot, a pair of inexhaustible quivers, and armor that no fighter would pierce with weapons. Sloka 27. When the demon Maya was saved from the fire by his friend Arjuna, Maya presented him with an assembly hall in which Duryodhana would later mistake water for a solid floor. Sloka 28. Then Lord Krishna, given leave by Arjuna and other well-wishing relatives and friends, returned to Dwaraka with Satyaki and the rest of his entourage. Sloka 29. The supreme auspicious Lord then married Kalindi on a day when the season, the lunar asterism and the configuration of the sun and other heavenly bodies were all propitious. In this way, he brought the greatest pleasure to his devotees. Sloka 30. Vindhya and Anuvidya, who shared the throne of Avanti, were followers of Duryodhanas. When the time came for his sister Mitravindha to select her husband in the Swayamvara ceremony, they forbade her to choose Krishna, although she was attracted to him. Sloka 31. My dear king, Lord Krishna forcibly took away Princess Mitravinda, the daughter of his aunt Rajadi Devi, before eyes of the rival kings. Sloka 32. O king, Nagajit, the very pious king of Koshala, had a loving daughter named Satya and or Nagajiti. Sloka 33. The kings who came as suitors were not allowed to marry her unless they would subdue 7 sharp-horned bulls. These bulls were extremely vicious and uncontrollable, and they could not tolerate even the smell of the warriors. Sloka 34. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of Vaishnavas, heard of the princess who was to be won by the conqueror of the bulls, he went to the capital of Kausalya with a large army. Sloka 35. The king of Koshala, pleased to see Lord Krishna, worshipped him by rising from his throne and offering him a seat of honor and substantial gifts. Lord Krishna also greeted the king respectfully. Sloka 36. When the king's daughter saw that most agreeable suitor arrive, she immediately desired to have him, the Lord of Goddess Rama. She prayed, may he become my husband. If I have kept my vows, may the sacred fire bring about the fulfillment of my hopes. Sloka 37. The goddess Lakshmi, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the rulers of various planets placed the dust of his lotus feet on their heads. And to protect the courts of religion, which he has created, he assumes pastimes, incarnations at various times. How may that Supreme Personality of Godhead become pleased with me? Sloka 38. King Nagajit first worshipped the Lord properly and then addressed him, O Narayana, Lord of the universe, you are full in your own spiritual pleasure. Therefore, what can this insignificant person do for you? So this is the end of today's translation reading. And now Krishna Venudas Prabhuji will give the overview of these sloka translations which I read. Please take over call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kiran Prabhuji, for reading today's section of Bhagavatam slokas translation, and thank you all for joining this Bhagavatam session today morning. And thank you, Sundarana Prabhu, for giving this opportunity to share a few points from our BBT purports for my own purification. So, I'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakhya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatta Desharan. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 58. Krishna marries 5 princesses, and slokas 20 to 38. So just to give a background, so we are in the section of Krishna's marriage. Of course, we heard how Krishna got married to Mother Rukmini, and then later Mother Jambavati, and then Satyabhama. So in this chapter, in this section, we will hear the Krishna's marriage with Kalindi and Mitravinda, and some portion of Mother Satya or Nagnijiti. So in the last section, the initial introduction was given by His Grace Sundarananda Prabhu, how Krishna, after the Pandavas completed their incognito exile, then he went with the Satyaki and other to see them in Indraprastha, and we saw how Pandavas had a great exchange with Krishna, and then we heard how Mother Kunti, Krishna visited Mother Kunti and then offered his obeisances, and Mother Kunti inquired about their family members, as Mother Kunti is aunt of Lord Krishna, and she also showed her gratitude that Krishna protected them from many challenges that Duryodhana inflicted on them. Then Yudhishthira also glorified Krishna, so like that. And then on their request, Krishna stayed for many days in Indraprastha. And then the section of Krishna's marriage with Kalindi started. So where one day Krishna and Arjuna went to forest for hunting, and then after a while they came to the Yamuna river, and then they saw this charming and beautiful girl, and then on Krishna's request, Arjuna went up to the girl and asked who she was. So now we'll continue from there. In the 20th sloka, we see that this beautiful girl who is known as Mother Kalindi, so she was mentioning about herself to Arjuna, because Arjuna asked her. So she said she is the daughter of the sun god, Savitir Duhita. Of course, we also hear Yamaraj is also the son of Surya Deva. So that's why both Yamaraj and Kalindi are brothers and sisters. And here she was mentioning that she is desiring to get Lord Vishnu as her husband. Patim Ichhati Vishnum. For that, what she is doing, she is performing a severe penances. Tapaha Paramam. So this is this kind of tapasya is known as Divyam. So because there are many kinds of austerities done by several people, even the demons also. We heard Hiranyakashipu also performed great severe austerity for many thousands of years, and that too standing on one leg and in a difficult posture like that. But the purpose is not to get Krishna or not to develop Krishna prema. It's the purpose is to get some material benedictions. So that's why those kind of tapasyas are not mentioned as divyam. But to progress in the path of bhakti or to get Krishna prema, to develop Krishna prema, that is called divyam. That's what Lord Rishabhadeva mentions in his instructions to his sons, saying that tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. So the tapassu which has been done to develop Krishna prema, divyam, that is divyam. And when one purifies through this tapasya, austerity, then Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam. So we'll get a unlimited blissful happiness like that. So like all of you, like, you are waking up early, even though it is a great challenge. So that's austerity. But for what purpose we are waking up? To chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So in that way, this tapasya is known as divyam, and it is required for us so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. Another point in the purport, it is mentioned that quoting Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, saying that Mother Kalindi correctly understood that Lord Vishnu is the source of all benedictions. So if he becomes her husband, then all her desires will be fulfilled. So if we develop Krishna prema, then all our desires will be fulfilled. So then in the next sloka, Mother Kalindi is mentioning to Arjuna that na anyam. So she is not ready to accept anyone else as her husband except Lord Vishnu. So, and she is saying that Krishna is the shelter of those who have no other master. And she is mentioning that I have no other master, only Krishna. So that means that Krishna should give her shelter. So that's why she is praying that Tushyatam may sa Bhagavan. So may Lord Krishna to be pleased with her like that. And Prabhupada also mentions a beautiful point in Krishna book saying that she's saying this to Arjuna and mentioning that if Arjuna could go to Krishna and pray that he should be pleased with Mother Kalindi's austerities and accept her hand, because Mother Kalindi knows that Arjuna is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. So if he requests Krishna, then Krishna will never deny his request. So Prabhupada gives this beautiful point saying that to approach Krishna directly, sometimes it is challenge. But if we approach Krishna through his devotees, then we are sure to be successful. So that's why our scripture stresses that we should go through to Krishna through Guru Parampara. Take shelter of a Guru or take association of the devotees and humbly serve them so that they can offer up prayers on behalf of us to the Supreme Lord so that we can progress in the path of bhakti. Another thing in the purport, another point is mentioned, quoting Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying that although Mother Kalindi is young and a beautiful girl and staying alone in a secluded places, but she's not afraid. Why? Because she took shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Pajohare mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charana Aravinda. So if we take shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, that will help us to overcome from any fear. So Narayana Parasarve Nakutaschana Bibyati. So if we take shelter of Supreme Lord Narayana, then there is no fear for any condition of life. So this kind of staunch faith and devotion, Mother Kalindi has it. So hence we see that her desires are fulfilled. And if we see in all the great exalted devotees, they have developed this kind of staunch faith in Supreme Lord's lotus feet. So this is something that we can also try to aspire as a sadhakas to develop our faith or to make our faith strong by associating with the devotees who have that strong faith, so that they can inspire us and then we can increase our faith. Because I'm talking to myself. So in the next sloka, Mother Kalindi is revealing that she is known as Kalindi and she is living in a mansion which was built by her father within the water of Yamuna, and she is going to stay there until she meets Lord Achyuta. See that great determination. And the purport also it is mentioned that though Kalindi is a tender young girl, but her determination to get Krishna is very strong. This is something as an aspiring devotee, I also try to get these kind of qualities, the determination to practice Krishna consciousness. Of course, in it is we see that in though Mother Kalindi is very young girl, but she has this determination. So similarly, we see in our movement also sometimes the small kids they show great interest in performing many services, and they do also. They perform many services. So that's because so they have probably done a great spiritual practice in their previous life in some cases, and they are starting from early age in this life. Because we hear in Bhagavad Gita also, right? Krishna mentions Bhagavad Gita that whoever performed Krishna consciousness in this life, even though if they are not completely successful, in the next life they will be put in a better position where they can get another chance to progress in the path of bhakti. So whatever we do, this Krishna conscious practice, it's not going to be wasted. So like if we work hard and study with great endeavor and earn master's degree or some great material education and work hard and gain a lot of wealth, so that will go away after leaving this body. But whatever the Krishna conscious practice that we do, it's not going to be wasted. So we'll be Krishna assured that we'll be placed in a better position so that we can progress in the path of bhakti. Suchinam Srimate Gehe. So either we'll be placed in a great exalted devotees home or in a rich family, so that we have a conducive environment to progress in the path of bhakti. So in the next sloka, Sukadeva Goswami is continuing saying that when Arjuna revealed all these things to Krishna, of course, it's mentioned here that he already knows, Krishna already knows it. So then Lord Krishna took Kalindi on his chariot and went back to Indraprastha. And then Sukadeva Goswami narrates the pastime of building this Indraprastha city. So one time these Pandavas, they requested Lord Krishna to help them out in building a beautiful city. And then Krishna immediately calls Vishwakarma and he orders him to construct a wonderful city according to the desire of King Yudhishthira. And then this Indraprastha was constructed, and then Maharaj Yudhishthira request Krishna to live with them for some days and for their pleasure. And of course, Krishna, to give the pleasure to his dear devotees, so he accepted and remained there for many days. And the purport, quoting commentary of Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, it is mentioned that this Indraprastha was built before Kandava forest burning and before Mother Kalindi was found. So though the initial earlier verses talks about Mother Kalindi's pastime, but before that only this Indraprastha was built. And then in the next sloka we hear the Sukadeva Goswami narrating the burning of Kanda forest. So when Krishna was there, Krishna wanted to give this Kandava forest as a gift to Agni, because Agni, Lord Agni did a favor to Supreme Lord Krishna. He did a service to Krishna earlier by giving this Sudarshana Chakra to Supreme Lord Krishna. Of course, Sudarshana Chakra is eternal servant of Supreme Lord Krishna, but when he comes into this material world, so these are all arranged to come in contact with Krishna through some great exalted devotee. So Agni became instrument in arranging Sudarshan Chakra to be in the association of Krishna. So Krishna is very pleased, and he wanted to give this Kandava forest to Agni, because Kandava forest has many varieties of drugs which Agni requires, because Agni eats a lot of ghee through the sacrifices. So to digest those things, so he needs these herbals, these wonderful drugs, so that he can become rejuvenation. So, so Krishna helped it, and Lord Agni, very satisfied, and for that we see that how Agni reciprocated. In the next sloka we hear that Agni gave a special bow known as Gandiva to Arjuna, and also 4 white horses, 1 chariot, and invincible quiver with the 2 special arrows. All these things, so much power that no warrior could counteract them. So that those kind of all beautiful gifts he gave it to Arjuna on the order of Supreme Lord Krishna, like that. So that's why we see that in the earlier section also, Arjuna wearing Gandhi bow and then going to the forest along with Krishna, like that. So this was Gandhi bow was given by Agni as a gift before this pastime of Kalindi. So, and the other thing in the Kandava forest burning, the incident happened is there was a demon Maya. He was staying in that forest, and Arjuna saved him from that forest fire. Agni devouring that forest. At that time, this demon Maya was saved by Arjuna. So to reciprocate what Arjuna's favor, this Maya demon, Maya Danava, so he constructed a beautiful assembly hall within the city of the Indraprastha, which was constructed by Vishwakarma. So Vishwakarma constructed Indraprastha, and this Maya Danava constructed this assembly hall known as Maya Sabha. And it is mentioned in the sloka that this Maya Sabha has so many amazing puzzling things, where Duryodhana one time when we visited, so he mistakenly he thought, when he saw water he thought it is a land, and when he saw land he thought it is a water. So in that way, by seeing their opulence, so this envious Duryodhana felt insulted like that. And then in the next sloka, we hear that so Krishna, after staying many days, he took permission from Arjuna and other Pandavas and well-wishing relatives, friends. Then he returned to Dwarka with whomever he came, like, he came with Satyaki and many other people. So all of them returned back. And along with them, of course, now Krishna also took in charge of Mother Kalindi. So he took Mother Kalindi also back to Dwarka. And what happens after he went to Dwarka? Then Supreme Lord Krishna, he consulted many learned astrologers to find the suitable moment where he can marry Mother Kalindi. And that marriage is mentioned in the 29th sloka, that that was a great celebration, and it has been done with a great pomp. And due to that, this marriage ceremony gave great pleasure to both the parties, either Mother Kalindi's party or Krishna's party. So all of them enjoyed this great occasion of Krishna's marriage with Mother Kalindi. So in the next few slokas, we see that Sukadeva Goswami started narrating the pastime of Krishna's marriage with Mitravinda, so another queen of Krishna. So the Mitravinda's brothers are mentioned here, the sloka 30th, that Vindhya, Anuvindhya. So they are the kings of the Avanti. So Avanti is today's time frame is Ujjaini. So, and they are the followers of Duryodhana Vasanugana. So when the time came for Mitravinda's marriage, so they arranged a Swayamvaram. So, and in that she can select whomever she likes or desires. And in that Swayamvaram, Lord Supreme Lord Krishna is also there, and she wanted to choose Krishna, but these Vindhya and Anuvindhya, the brothers of Mitravinda, being the followers of Duryodhana, so they forbade him. Though they did not allow her to select Krishna as her husband. And it's similar to Mother Rukmini's pastime. Like, Mother Rukmini wanted to marry Krishna, and her father wanted to have Krishna as her husband to Mother Rukmini, but her brother Rukmi did not want. So similarly here also, though Mitravinda wanted Krishna as her husband, but because Krishna is on the side of Pandavas and these two brothers are on the side of Duryodhana, so they did not allow her. And then what happened? So Krishna, next sloka we see that Krishna forcibly took away Mitravinda. And it is mentioned here that Mitravinda is none other than Krishna's aunt's daughter. So Krishna's grandfather, of course, Krishna's father is Vasudeva, and his father is Surasena. So Surasena has 5 daughters, and one of them is this Rajadi Devi. So in that way, Rajadi Devi is the sister of Vasudeva, and being Vasudeva is Krishna's father, so Rajadi Devi is the aunt of Krishna. So in that way, Krishna married her aunt's daughter, Mitravinda. So, and Prabhupada also mentions that when Krishna is taking forcibly Mitravinda, so many kings were there, but they are unable to resist Krishna, so they simply started looking at one another like that. Then in the next few slokas, Sukadeva Goswami started narrating the pastime of Krishna's marriage with Mother Satya or Nagnajiti. So because the Nagnajiti or Satya is the daughter of King Nagnajit. So he's a very pious king of Koshala. Of course, this Koshala Rajya is also mentioned in Ramayanam, because Lord Ramchandra's kingdom is a Koshala Rajyam, capital is Ayodhya. And this during Treta Dwapara Yuga, of course, this during Krishna's time, this Nagnajit is the king of this Koshala Rajya, and he is a very pious king. And this king had a condition. Any king, any prince wanted to marry her daughter Satya. So the condition is they have to subdue 7 sharp horned bulls. They were extremely vicious and uncontrollable. And none of the kings, they were unable to defeat these 7 bulls. They tried, many of them tried, but instead of controlling them, they themselves defeated. So of course Krishna heard this news, and he went to the capital of this Koshala kingdom, Ayodhya, with a large army. And then this king of Koshala, Nagnajit, so he's also a great devotee of Supreme Lord Krishna. So he worshipped him, offered respect. Lord Krishna also greeted him very respectfully, because Krishna knows that he is going to be his future father-in-law. So he also greeted him respectfully. And then and from Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada mentions that when this king's daughter Satya, or Nagnajiti, when she saw Krishna came to their kingdom, immediately she desired to have Krishna as her husband. So Krishna, Prabhupada mentions that for a long time Nagnajiti has this idea of marrying Krishna, and for that she, similar to Kalindi, she also followed the principles of austerity. So that's why here she is thinking that if I have performed any pious activities to the best of my ability, may Krishna be pleased and fulfill my long cherished desire. So we see that in these great devotees, they are always performing severe austerities to develop Krishna prema, or to get Krishna as their husband. So she was praying that, all the rulers of the various planets, they place the dust of the Supreme Lord Krishna on their head. So may this Supreme Lord be pleased with me, like that. So many great devotees, even though they are very exalted, they are very humble. So they say that, though they perform many services, so they simply pray Krishna, out of your causeless mercy, you be pleased with whatever the services we have done, and bestow your mercy upon us, so that we can progress in the path of bhakti, like that. So the last sloka for today, so 38. So this King Nagnajit, so he worshipped Supreme Lord, and then he started offering prayers, saying that, "O Narayana, Lord of the universe, so you are full in your own spiritual pleasure. So what can this insignificant person do for you?" See, even this king also very humble. So he's saying that, how can I offer you anything? Because you are the proprietor of the whole cosmic manifestation, Sarvaloka Maheshwara. So what can I do? So these are the great qualities, like, developing strong faith in this process of Krishna consciousness, and then having great determination to practice this Krishna consciousness, whether either it's rain or shine, we continue to practice, chant our Hare Krishna Mahamantra of 16 rounds, follow 4 regulatory principles, be in the association of the devotees, mold all our activities centered with Krishna. So like that, and be humble. So like how we see that either Mother Satya or King Nagnajit, they are very humble. So like that. So Krishna is teaching many lessons through this session. Of course, I'm talking to myself. So if we can develop all these things, then we can also be successful. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for joining. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavabhya Namo Namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.